So welcome back, YouTube. So apparently this happened today. Do not approach a woman in a parking lot. I know a lot of y'all want to hear my thoughts on this, and I'm probably can't wait to hear the women's thoughts in my comments about this. So let's check this out and see what all of this is about.
All right, dear, I'd like you to come in and join me. I need your help on this. I've never heard this before. My common sense tells me one thing. So I need to know what you think. Okay, because I'm like, holy shit, like this seems very, quote, stereotypical of certain types of women. I don't even mean in particular color. I just mean just particular types of women. And I saw it, I was like, I was taken aback. I was like, what in the hell? I've never heard this before. To me, it's all in how you do it. So, just yes. Ready?
I want to see it too.
All right.
I'm literally shaking right now because I just had a man approach me in a parking lot. And it went fine, and I'm going to tell you why it went fine and how to address it, because it was in a book I read.
She's blonde hair, blue eyes too.
I'm literally shaking. So this guy, I am alone with my son, by myself, a woman, and a male approached me in a parking lot. He's, "Excuse me, miss," and I don't know why in the hell he was approaching me or what he was trying to do. And before he was probably 30 feet from me when he said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I turned around and I literally yelled at him and I said, "Do not approach me." And he immediately started going in the other direction, and I just kept saying it over and over and over. I said, "Do not approach me. Do not approach me." And he, of course, got "What the F?" He started cussing and yelling, "What's your problem?" And I looked at him, and he actually then crossed a couple cars down from my car. He didn't come anywhere near me. He crossed a couple cars down from my car and was like, continuing to cuss and say, "What's your problem?" And I said, "You do not approach women in a parking lot." I just kept saying, "Do not approach me. You do not approach women in a parking lot." Yelling it. No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. Ever. No male should ever approach.
Where is this at?
And if a male does approach you, you need to turn around and use the strongest voice that you can possibly use with them. Don't be polite. They need to literally screw off. No male should be approaching you in a parking lot.
He looked at her like, "Hey, you got anything to say about this?"
My question to the female guest, by the way, go follow Scarlo on Scarlo's Beauty and Gaming. Yes. After this video she makes with me, she's about to finish God of War. She's going to do the true ending. Yes. And after that, she'll be playing Resident Evil 4. But, what's your opinion of that? Is she correct? I saw this on the Hodge twins posted this, and I was sitting there like,
I don't want to say she's not correct, but I wouldn't do something like that. And the reason why I say she's not correct is because
we don't know what the heck it was. What was it?
Somebody grab you in a parking lot one time? Did something happen to you that you feel that you have to do this?
Yeah, why is she so on edge because of this?
Why are you so on edge? It makes me wonder if she had some type of trauma.
Yeah.
If something came up. Why were you reading the book that suggested that you yell this at the top of your lungs in the middle of a parking lot? You could have dropped your wallet. Your kid could have been a little too far behind you. Your kid almost could have gotten hit by a car. Maybe you forgot your groceries.
There's a ton of things.
He
may have wanted to ask her out on a date. But out in a parking lot during the daytime, people are going back and forth
Right. And granted, things do happen during broad daylight. It's not that things don't happen.
That's true.
But for her to say men should never approach a woman in a parking lot ever, they can screw off.
That's actually false, because that'll stop man from ever talking to you. Because My thing is though, how she have a child? Is she single? You still with your husband? It could have been anything. He could have been wanting to get your number. Because the way she said it, she even says it herself that the man, he didn't yell at her. He said, excuse me. So that lets me know he walked up to her and said, excuse me, ma'am. And then she just said, get away from me. Yo. That's what I'm getting out of this. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm just like, wow.
I don't agree with that. I mean, if you have a good intention, maybe you want to act, not me personally, but if you want to ask me out on a date, if you want to, tell me that I dropped my wallet, if you want to tell me I forgot something at the grocery store, or maybe, I don't know, like you've got people out here who are trying to sell cell phone services. I don't know, but you don't just tell people to F off when they're in a parking lot. I mean, I think this was a bit extreme, but to me, I feel like she might have gone through something because she said she went through some trauma.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
She's literally shaking. So I feel like maybe she went through something, maybe some type of trauma that has her feeling this way. The fact that she has a son, it's like, okay, well, I got more questions.
That's what I was saying. She got a son.
Are you a single mother? I mean,
that's a lot of questions popping up.
Are you in a really bad neighborhood? Like, I've got questions, like, that's why I said I wouldn't say she's wrong, because maybe for her, if she did go through some type of situation where maybe she did get approached one time and it wasn't a great situation. Or maybe
you just look, to me, I gotta cut this real quick. She looks crazy doing that. Because, maybe she went through something. She needs to address her trauma then. Because with you yelling at people in the parking lot, do not approach me! Do not approach me! That, to me, that looks insane.
That's extreme.
And
that's extreme.
I understand maybe if you're somewhere really shady, you might not want to be there anyway, sketchy.
Right. Like,
you shouldn't be there anyway. I could understand maybe, like, some dark parking garages. You might not want to. Yeah. But even then, to me, it's all in how you approach people. People are approached, male and female are approached every day in different situations, all the time. Bad things, people are knocked out in grocery stores. So it doesn't matter if a man is like, excuse me, ma'am, no harm, listen, you dropped your receipt. Can I give this to you? You know what I mean? Or, hey, listen, this happened. Or that. Hey, listen, I just wanted to tell you you're beautiful. It's okay if I speak to you. It's okay if we have a chat. You know what I mean? Something like that to disarm people. Because guys do that anyway. Excuse me, miss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I literally, look, 45, been a man a while. I have never seen that type of behavior or heard of that type of behavior. And I've been around. I've worked and lived in bad and really nice areas and have never seen anyone behave like that. So you're correct. I personally believe you're correct. That something happened to this woman. Because check this out. And
before you keep going, just a point that I wanted to make is that she made it a point to say, he said, excuse me, ma'am. It wasn't like, it was like, hey, yo, ma. Excuse me, ma.
That's what I'm saying.
Wasn't even
I've gotten that, but even then, it wasn't nothing crazy, because as soon as he see I'm not interested, all right, I'm sorry, my bad. Enjoy your day. Like, I've gotten a lot of that. It's never gotten, it's gotten nasty in hood parts, of course, because guys just don't know how to talk. But if this guy was just saying, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, and you're like yelling at him and that's gonna make him
scared. He's gonna think something wrong with you.
Him look like
he's gonna say you crazy as hell
without even knowing what he wanted. I mean,
to me,
I get the whole scary thing.
But see, the thing is, that's gonna make her look bad. That's gonna be embarrassing for her, because everybody in that parking lot is not gonna be looking at him. They're gonna be looking at her and be like, "Hey, yeah, you crazy lady."
Maybe you went through something and you just are trying to protect yourself and your son. I get that, but it's like if she said, what, 30 feet away?
Yeah.
Like, if he's that far away from you, you could have turned around and said, I'm sorry, can I help you? Just to see what he said. I mean, if it could have been anything, but, I
personally am feeling he may have wanted to talk to her.
Or you could have just ignored him.
Was he homeless? Like
right.
I'm wondering if he wanted to talk to her. He could have been homeless, or he could have wanted to talk to her. Because I'm thinking, he's like, first of all, he gets defensive, which is also, it's a normal male, a normal person to get defensive when you're trying to make them look crazy for saying something.
Right.
Like, what the F is your problem?
Right.
What the F is... So he stayed away, like crossing in between cars. What the F is your problem? Like, yo, like, I was just going to say hello to you, maybe talk to you, and you're talking to me like I was going to attack you? Or...
You don't even know.
Women get approached daily in
Right.
parking lots. You know why? Because sometimes a man sees you as you're exiting the grocery store and he wants to say hello. And look, talking to female friends, sometimes women get approached so much they get tired of getting approached. I'm personally never like that. I've worked in several situations where I was approached by women a lot, offered a whole lot of cootie cat, and I was always nice. But there's a lot of women with the rest in B face who are really mean to men. I'm not talking to ones that are super persistent and won't shut up and won't walk away. I'm just talking about the ones that say, "Excuse me, miss," and you're like, "I got things to do." You know what I'm saying? I think it's all in how you do it, and people get approached all the time in public settings. What is it about a parking lot that makes it so dangerous? I could get a nighttime parking lot, vacant parking lot. It's just your car and one other car, because that's the manager's car of the store and he's closing down, and you're like, excuse me, maybe then you want to think about it. But most level-headed men know, we know what women are afraid of. So if I see you, and I'm just gonna, we even change our voice. We'll be like, "Excuse me, miss."
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Like, I have a deeper voice when I'm talking calm. But I might be, "Excuse me, miss." See, you lighten your voice a little bit. Just show that you're not threatening, because we know that a deeper voice is threatening. If I say, "Excuse me, miss," that might scare her. That's going to turn her on. I can tell she's looking at me right now.
Everybody turn her on.
But
they both do the same. See, I've been around too much. That's what it is.
This is what I wanted to say real quick. I dated a girl who, an Hispanic.
Another one, part two.
Yes, Hispanic. And she was attacked. It was a tinted grape at a college party. When I first met her, she told me that she was very attracted to me, but she was afraid of me because the guy that tried to grape her was black. And she said, "Don't get me wrong. One of the guys that pulled him off of me was black."
I already knew it.
I was afraid of black men for a long time just because of that experience. But of course, she got over it and we ended up dating for a little bit. You know what I mean? And, it is what it is. But that's all I wanted to say with that, because it's like, I'm thinking something traumatic happened there.
And I mean, you don't want to, if let's say you're going to the grocery store
I think people are going to call her a Karen for this video.
5 times out of the
They're
week.
going to call her Karen.
Let's say all those times you have a man saying, "Excuse me, ma'am." It could be, "Can I take the cart?" It could be anything. You're telling me that you're going to yell this every single time a man approaches you.
Shut up, Chad.
When he says, "Excuse me, ma'am." Like, that's going to make you look a little...
It's going to look crazy. She's being nice. It's going to make you look crazy. It's going to make you look off. It's going to make you look like, quote unquote, what they say, a Karen. It's going to make you look like all of those things.
I just feel like she went through something. Like, I honestly feel like
whatever she went through, she's been traumatized. That's why she's like this.
That
it's not really her fault. She's been traumatized.
Because clearly something has triggered her to have her that afraid, to where she is shaking like that and feels like she has to defend herself.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was a trigger. Something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened. I don't know what, but
I dated this one girl who actually,
it's unfortunate if that's the case,
did go through assault like that. Like, it happened. The other one, she got away. The guys pulled him off. But just speaking about it, it made her shake and her voice shake and everything. So I'm thinking something happened.
Something had to happen.
Because
traumatized.
If most people see that, people are, even the woke, are going to be like, what's going on over there? You know what I mean? I can't see people saying,
I need that
that's
in my
right.
life.
That's right. You never approach a woman in a parking lot. Tell him. I don't see anybody doing that.
Yeah. They're going to say she's crazy as
like
hell.
I needed you here for this because I needed to.
I feel like
just in
she
case.
did go through something, and the fact that it's still triggering her like this. I don't know her. I don't know who this lady is. Maybe she didn't go through anything. But if she did, and it's just something that's triggering her this bad, she needs to see a therapist. It's clearly something that she hasn't gotten over. And she looks like, she's of age. She's a grown woman with a kid. Maybe this was something that happened in her earlier years and she just never got, who knows, but.
You saw the video. I think, I personally feel like it's a skit, but there's a video of a dude saying, excuse me, miss. She's like, well, I don't have time for whatever. I ain't got no money. He says, your purse is on top of your car. She's like, mind your effing business, and zooms off. I thought it was a skit. I don't know if it's real or not.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
That's
that's
crazy.
Just being nasty. Like,
he was just saying, excuse me, miss, and she thought he wanted some money or something.
And I know in his mind, he'll be like, well, chick, I should have taken your purse then since you were being that nasty. He could have robbed her and didn't. Told her that the purse was on the car. I've never seen that, but that's wild. Just don't. All right. Everybody just be kind. Guys, know how to approach women. And women, don't be so mean. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I've
yes,
seen so
with
many
caution,
times guys approach women in public situations, even parking lots, and nothing happens. They're just, oh, okay. And you'll see, sometimes you'll see them continue to talk because the girl's interested. Yeah. And sometimes the guy walks away like, all right, well, and they just walk away. All right, post comments down below. Get over and follow Scarlo.
Yeah, I was going to add my 2 cents and I'm going to close it out too. She needs to go see therapy. She most definitely needs to get some help because whatever happened to her when she was posted in the parking lot before has traumatized her. That's why she's like this. I know this because I have women friends who have been traumatized by men before, which is why I tell some of the dudes, this is why some dudes can't date the hot, fine chicks they want to date because they don't. And it's crazy. Women date scumbags like this. It's not our fault, gentlemen. The good man out there, it's not our fault. It's the women. Well, it's kind of like you kind of said it is their fault because you chose to date that person knowing they was a scumbag and they want to treat you like shit. So it's like a double-edged sword. Not really pointing any fingers at them, but it's just like, well, why you date this person if you knew he was going to be a scumbag towards you? Or a-hole? Or ass? Or all of the above? Because that's basically what he's doing to you. And then when you do try to stand up and fight for them, that's when the girl wants to be like, oh, I want to date you instead. Can I go with you? Can you be with me? All this stuff. But you just said you want to be with this dude, though. He's a scumbag. He's an a-hole. He just called you out of your name, called you to BH and all this stuff. You on me now? I'm good. Because you might snap on me and call 911 and I go to jail. So, like they say, man, hey, that's why they always tell people the person that's asking you out could be the best person of your entire life. Not all of them are going to be like that. Some of them might be like that. Not all of them will be like that. You might actually date an asshole. But usually that's what dates are made for. You go on 3 or 4 or 5 dates to learn about each other, to figure out what he likes. Is he mentally healthy? Is he mentally stable? Is she mentally stable? Is she mentally healthy? What she like to eat? She like going to the gym, working out. She like anime. She like video games. She like streaming. You figure that stuff out on dates. You can't figure that out if you don't go out. Well, and plus she had a child, so obviously she done slept with a man, and he probably done did it to her and got her pregnant because she's blowing her in blue eyes. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it. But yeah, that's all I got to say. And I'm gonna need them digits. But anyway, guys, we're on our way to 300 subscribers. Thank you all so much for being here. I love y'all, and be safe and be blessed. I'm out. Let's check this joint on out, y'all.